Hi Stampers! Today we'll be making one of these cards. Actually we'll be making the Razzleberry card, but I had another version that I did in Island Indigo and I couldn't decide which I liked best, so people in club had their choice of which one they'd like. This technique is called Black Magic Modified. In a typical Black Magic card, the image is stamped in white ink and then just colored in and outlined in a white marker. And I decided to make it a little bit easier, especially because the details in the dress itself. We're using this stamp set called Beautiful You. It comes in two cases for the it's rubber, but it's clear mount. Otherwise it would be two cases. So let's get started. We'll need a piece of black cardstock, and we do need to use the embossing buddy. Just rub that on there, and that gets all the static and any flyaway pieces of the embossing powder. The next step is to stamp the image, and I'm using the girl with the umbrella. And one of the things with this is I tried stamping it. I stamp it in Whisper White craft ink, and then I tried embossing it with clear embossing powder, and it just did not work. It didn't pop like the white does. So I'll stamp this in the white, and this girl is a little crooked. Well, she's not crooked, but the stamp, the way, if you were to put this on like this, she would look like she's falling. So this has to turn a little bit so that the girl is going up and down. And if you have this stamp set, you'll know what I'm talking about. So we just stamp it. Now we're going to put it in the white embossing powder, and we just put a little bit on there. Wipe off any excess. Close up the container. Don't want embossing powder all over, which I have anyway. Okay, so I like to take, this is a piece of aluminum foil wrapped on just plain old cardboard. And I will put that on here. That way I don't burn my fingers, and the aluminum foil seems to absorb the heat, and it keeps the image a little flatter. So I'm warming up my heat gun a little bit here. Alright, and you don't want to go like this with it. You want to just go from the bottom to the top. And you'll see it turn real bright and shiny, and you know you've embossed it. Almost done here. It goes pretty quick. And that's it. Now to do the technique, you will need the watercolor pencils. And they come like this, and to keep them together and know what I have, I put them in one of our stamping cases, the thinner ones, and I cut off the top of the pencil box, and that way I can still see what everything is in there, and I know that they're all safe in there, as well as included a pencil sharpener, the aqua painter, and the what is this called now? The blender pen. So we will need, for this card, since we're making the Razzleberry, we'll need white, rich raspberry, and calypso coral. First thing that you have to do is color the entire image in the white. I have to do a quick sharpen here. And when you do sharpen these, you don't want to sharpen them so they're pointy. They'll just break, and you don't need that precise of an image, or precise of coloring. So I'm just coloring in. I'm pressing very hard because you want it completely covered in the white. And that way the background, the pencils will show up better. I'm not going to do her hair. I'm doing her dress, the umbrella, and I'm coloring her legs white too. That's just a choice. You don't have to. Okay, the next color I'll be using is the Calypso Coral, and I'm just doing that on the bottom, and again pretty solid, over the top of the white. And I'm just doing the bottom part here, and on the dress I'm doing the top part of her arms and the bottom part of her dress. Now if you were to do this in the indigo card, I did this in Pacific Point and Emerald Envy, or not Emerald, Bermuda Bay. So that's what these two colors are. Again, it's just a preference of which color you like best. Next we'll take the raspberry, do this right over the top, and you can go into the Calypso Coral, and then again in the middle, and I'm pressing fairly hard, and that's all you do to color it. The next is blending it a little bit. Now this is the tricky part. I'm taking my aqua painter and making sure it's wet, and you just want to barely touch it just to blend it a little bit, because if you go too much you'll wash the color right out and you'll end up with black after all. Go here, just kind of blending it a little bit so that it's one cohesive color. And basically that's all you need to do. And you wipe off the color either on your hand or on a napkin or something. The next part of this card is adhering it to the card itself. And I took one of these cute, my words today, one of the doilies, the lace doilies, and cut it in quarters. So I just cut it in half and in half again, and here are two of the quarters. Now this is two-sided, so you have white and very vanilla. We want the white side. So we're taking our adhesive, putting a little bit on the top and a little bit on the bottom, and just lining it up with the white side showing in the center of it, like so. And the same thing on the bottom. Again, you can see the difference, well maybe can or can't, but they are two-sided, so we want the white side. Next we'll put dimensionals on the back. And put 1, 2, 3, and I put 5 on, because then the center will stay, it will lay nicely. I also have these little tabs in here like this, and it just needed it. So they're just little pieces of 3/4 inch pieces of white cardstock, and I'm just putting a little adhesive on the back and go down about an inch. Put one there, and then on the bottom, on the opposite side, you'll put it on right here. You'll take off the pieces for the glue dots. Okay, really? Okay, come on. My goodness. There we go. And you'll put it on the card. And the color of the cardstock is black for the outside. The inside is just a piece of white, and then the rich raspberry. And then to finish it off, I use the these are called White Perfect Accents. You can use any size on this. And a Sharpie works really well so that you can color them. And I have these two colors of Sharpies. They're not marked what colors they are, but they seem to match perfectly. So we color them right over the top, and you want to do this before you put it on the card. Let it dry. It dries pretty quickly. If you do it on the card, then your tendencies, as you can see, I have it outside the edge. That would end up on the white, and you really don't want that to happen. Okay, then we're going to take our paper piercing tool, grab it from underneath, just put one right in the center. Okay, it's still a little wet. Come on. So try not to touch it. There we go. And here's the other one. Put that on there. And there you have the card. Very simple, but I think it's kind of a cool technique. So go try it and have a good day. Thank you.